It's a Tuesday, a day after a holiday, and let's dive into Steelers content. Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports, everybody. I'm Jason. Let's dive in here on a pretty slow news day for your Pittsburgh Steelers. However, there's always something to talk about concerning this football team. And I wanted to bring up a little bit about a couple different subjects, so let's just get right into it. And one being Patrick Queen. And with what he did with that contract, guys, we talked about it yesterday in that live show. And it really just sat with me a little bit more and more after that show, and I started to think about it a little bit more of what he actually really did here. Giving up $5 million, $4 to $5 million per season to be able to come and sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers instead of some other team. 15 in total, 5 in the final list. Some offering $17 million per season. It showed me a lot about Patrick Queen and his character and what he is all about. This is a wealthy man, a guy that makes a ton of money, but yet said to himself, winning is more important. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers hit the lottery with a guy like Patrick Queen, a guy that wants to come in and show everybody that he is the number one linebacker on a football team, a special talent. And I think we've seen that over the years from him, but he wants to be able to do it on his own. With his own team, not on his own, but with his own team, to be the leader of that team, the guy that is the head in that inside linebacker room. And I think Patrick Queen really showed us something with the way he took a real monster discount here, guys. Now, don't look for him to do it all the time, especially if he blows up and has amazing numbers, monster stats. Don't look for him to just take a hometown discount every contract. The guy is a businessman. This is a business, and he will have to make his money, but he's making it here. 4 years, $41 million. But I just want you all to know, before we push past this and not remember it, how special this is and exactly what this means in terms of character and exactly what this means for your football team to get a guy like Patrick Queen in the middle there. A real leader, a guy that is a phenomenal athlete that is really going to pay big dividends to the Steelers here in 2024. And I think a lot of people were just overlooking it. Yes, it was a headline, but it's going to be a headline for a day and then gone. But I really, really, truly believe that it showed us the character of Patrick Queen. It showed us the person of who he is. And I just really got to say that I want to send out some high praise to Patrick Queen, and I really look forward to him being a Pittsburgh Steeler because I think he stands for what most fans, what Steelers Nation looks at when they want to think of a Pittsburgh Steeler player. I think that that's what you see in Patrick Queen. And it's not just because of the money, but the money starts it. He started out with on the right foot here with the Steelers, saying to the fan base, I'm here to win. Yes, the money. I need the money. I want the money. But I'm going to take a fair deal in order for us to be able to sign other players, in order for us to be able to fill out this inside linebacker room with high-quality individuals. And he understands what it takes to be successful at the NFL level, and that is surrounding yourself with high-quality individuals. And I think that that's exactly what Patrick Queen understood and executed here with his deal, with signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And his relationship with Mike Tomlin, I think, helped a little bit also. So that's another big plus for the head coach for the Steelers. And I think it was just something that we shouldn't totally overlook and really needed emphasized one last time here. On our show, at least. And that is Patrick Queen really taking a real hometown discount here. $4 or $5 million per season. That's a lot of jing, man. And over 4 years, that's $20 million, $15, $20 million. That's where you're looking at that this guy gave up in order to come be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's continue to push through. I have heard many things about many people talking lately. I've heard even a couple podcasts talking about the Steelers only being 8.5 right now in terms of win-loss total for or win total for the 2024 season, and that a lot of people were starting to bet the over. Last year, they were, in a similar situation to where they were only picked to win 8 games or so. I think it opened up this year at 7.5. So there's a lot of people that are betting against the Steelers, or a lot of people that were betting against the Steelers. I want to say that there is some hope here, guys. I think that this is going to be a solid football team. We talked about it last night on the live show, that you have seen a hell of a lot of improvements in my eyes. I think you're going to have an offensive line that is really young, a core group, a real nucleus, a foundation, and that's where it all starts. I think the Steelers are really emphasizing things other than the roster right now. They are emphasizing making sure they have good people in the scouting department. They've built that front office staff out. You have guys like Omar. You have guys like Andy Weidel. You have a secure franchise in terms of ownership. You have a long tenured head coach in Mike Tomlin. I know we all have our quirks about Mike Tomlin, and yes, he does have deficiencies, but overall Mike Tomlin does draw some free agents in and things of that nature. Now Mike, I think, needs to translate some of that here back onto the field, considering since about 2015, 2016, he's not had a ton of success in terms of big-time wins and playoffs and things of that nature. And I think we need to start to see Mike Tomlin get back to that and his football team start to succeed. But what I'm getting at here is the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't an 8-win football team, guys. And if they are, there's going to be some extenuating circumstances like last year, monster injuries, major injuries to the quarterback room, just bad outcomes that you don't want to see happen, but that would be the reason why. If everything works out the plan and you have the roster and the players that you think you'll have moving forward into 2024 on the field, I really truly believe this to be a 10-win football team, at least right now as it sits. And I may increase that total, but I can guarantee, well, not guarantee, but I'm pretty confident that this is a 10-win football team. So if you're out there and you're a bettor and you're looking at the odds on BetMGM at 8.5 for the Steelers win total for 2024, I'm going to advise you to take a leap and bet on the over there, because I think that would be your smartest bet. Again, I've heard other podcasts talking about it, so you could get more information. That's just my brief synopsis of it. But also, guys, I want to continue to move forward here. And we talked yesterday on the live show also about some players that I'm really excited about. But I wanted to give you a list of players that I think that are players to watch on both sides of the football here in 2024. And that is Russell Wilson. We'll start with the offense. Russell Wilson, guys, I think is going to have a real good year. I think Russell Wilson is a man possessed, a man on a mission, a man that wants to cement his legacy. Would his legacy be tarnished if he doesn't win in Pittsburgh? No, probably not. I don't think so. But I think that Russell Wilson is definitely a man on a mission, a man that is here to succeed and to do one thing, and that is win football games and win a Super Bowl. And that's all I think Russell is thinking about. And I like that coming from my franchise guy, a guy that's going to lead my franchise. That's what I mean by franchise guy, the guy leading your franchise. And Russell Wilson is that right now. Also, not more players to watch on that offensive line is one Zach Frazier. He's going to be the starter, guys, and I think he was the best center in this draft. So I think that you're going to have to watch him grow, and that's a player to watch. Also, I think if Troy Fautanu gets a spot, if he gets to start there at that right tackle spot, I think he'll be a player to watch also. But my real big one, guys, and this is going to be one that may catch you off guard, but my biggest one on this whole list out of the offense to watch, not the running backs, it is Pat Freiermuth, guys. Pat Freiermuth and Darnell Washington and that tight end room as a whole, I think is going to be so instrumental to success next year for your Steelers. And if they have a big monster year, I think this team does special things and goes really far. And I think if you're Russell Wilson, you really have to lean on that tight end room and really allow them to help you because I think you're going to be running a lot of big packages, and having pass-catching tight ends is going to be so important. So those are my players to watch on the offensive side of the football. At least right now, we're in camp, going toward camp, those types of things, the preseason. Make sure we really watch those guys here. Those are my players to watch on offense. But let's switch over to defense. My players to watch this year on defense are a couple young guys to start off the list. We have our usual cast of characters, our TJ Watts, our Alex Highsmiths, our Cams, our Minkas. But I wanted to really emphasize on some guys that I really want you guys to watch this year. And I think that they're going to really prove to be special. And that is Peyton Wilson, the rookie, whom I think will be the biggest steal in this draft out of the whole thing, out of the whole 2024 draft. I keep saying it. And I'm going to continue to stand on that until we see exactly how it pans out. Peyton Wilson and Patrick Queen and Landon Roberts. I think that inside linebacking core, that core group of guys is going to be special. And I want you to really focus on that group because I think they're going to be able to really contribute to this offense or to this defense in a major, major way. Also, I want you to really keep an eye out on Nick Herbig. I know he'll have a limited role, but I think he's going to continue to carve things out and continue to carve himself out a niche. And I really hope to see him take another step here in year 2 because I'm really excited about him. He's a young ball player. I know many dog on him for his size, but I got to tell you guys, I know a football player when I see it, and I see a football player in Nick Herbig, and he is going to be special, I'm telling you, at least in what I've seen and what I think so far. Also, I want you guys to continue to watch this cornerback position play out. You have Joey Porter Jr. I think he'll take a year 2 leap, but let's fingers crossed he remains healthy. But I want you to watch the rest of that group and see how it plays out because I think Dante Jackson and I think Corey Trice and those types of guys are going to be over there battling for some playing time opposite of JPJ, battling for playing time in the slot corner role. But I think you're going to see a lot of young talent there really rise up throughout this offseason and really make a statement here in 2024. And this cornerback room isn't going to be as bad off as some people want to write it to be. So those are my players to watch on the defense. Those are my position groups to watch on both offense and defensive side of the football. So let's really try to just watch them guys work here as the summer progresses and continue to see this team develop. Again, guys, there's not a ton of news here today considering this is a real dry period for the NFL. The Memorial Day weekend, nobody was really doing anything. So here we are. But there's always something to talk about with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's what's exciting about it. That's what makes the Steelers a cool franchise, man. And yeah, so until tonight for Steel City Live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace.